Well, tactics advances on us.
No.
Yes.
I'm going to mute you right now, you dink.
No. John, don't. John.
If the day you could fully shotgun a Foster's is the day I'll play another shitty RPG that you have.
Okay.
Welcome to the Spin Dash Retro Gaming Podcast. Prepare yourself for the joy of classic gaming, fired straight into your delicate little ear holes. Fire away.
Well, didn't you say you're poking me or something one night, like Friday, or just like say
you fell asleep in the chair, and I like plugged your nose so you'd stop snoring.
Dude, you're snoring, man. That night it was like, oh man.
We were all sitting in the kitchen having a conversation, and we'd pause when Nick would snore.
Oh man,
getting you a portable CPAP machine.
I was like, I think he's dying. I think he's not going to make it.
Well, I lost 10 pounds so far.
There you go.
Nice.
Last weekend didn't help you at all.
No. I didn't get any special stuff.
So, for our listeners, we had a bachelor party for one of our dear friends last weekend, and none of us were below the age of 30, I don't think.
That's right.
And we all rented a cabin, and we stayed up playing video games and drinking beer and eating junk food.
So I think, for the listeners that go back and listen, again, this bachelor party was during COVID. So like normally we would have taken Dan to a donkey show or something, something really offensive. Like of all people, Dan would be the one that I would want to take the most depraved thing on earth, but you can't do that because of COVID. So we did the next best thing. And we brought ourselves back to like our, 18 to 22-year-old versions of ourselves. Because that's what happens. Like we all get together. It's like, I don't care what age we are. We're going back to stupid. Like collectively as a group, we're going back to dumb.
The more of us you get together, the dumber it gets.
I think the thing that cracked me up was like, you could tell we've all been pent up, this whole COVID bullshit, stuck in our homes, because the second we all got in the same vicinity, it was like people are pulling out alcohol. It was just like, you got to booze and you get booze and you get booze. It's like shots and this. And it's like, oh my God. And I woke up that next day and it's like, I am not 20 anymore. And this is,
I woke up pretty good actually.
I popped 2 Advil before I went to bed and I felt all right. And I drank coconut water. Like immediately.
I was destroying water before that day too, all throughout the day.
Yeah, we immediately get there and shotgun a beer and then do a shot grab bag.
Yeah. And we did other shots too, because Dan likes bourbon. So of course everyone had bourbon. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no one got sick. And I'm actually shocked. Like Friday, no one got sick. I would have expected somebody to get sick.
That one guy, he was hurting the whole next day though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, him and I think, were the worst too. Because I remember like we were in the backseat of your car on the way to go axe throwing. He was kind of like passed out against the window up against one side, and I was kind of passed up against the window on the other side. It was like death in the back seat.
Yeah. I'm happy that my third row and my giant SUV finally got used.
No, it was fun. It was fun getting some Halo in. It's crazy because it's like I haven't played. Like we played Halo 2, our Halo 1 disc wasn't functioning. So we played some Halo 2 and I haven't played multiplayer Halo 2. I mean, I swear since the dorms, and it's like, we fired it up and it's like, holy shit, shoot this straight into my veins. It's like, I have to have more of this.
2006, I think.
God,
it's Halo OGs on Steam right now.
You're awful hot and horny for that. I mean, you could pick that.
I want redemption. I forgot how much I sucked at Halo. And it's weird. I'm decent with other shooters though, like other first person shooters. Call of Duty games. I was halfway decent, but no matter what, every time I played Halo, sucked.
Just weren't feeling the vibe.
No, unless my only redemption was suicide bomb myself in or sticky. Like, I'm gonna die. Just let someone come near me, and I'll sticky them.
Sticky bombs.
To Dan and Justin's credit, they both have matured past 18 to 22. I will give them that, because normally after a long match of Halo, Justin would get cocky and tell Dan how much he sucks, and then Dan would get pissed at him, and then there'd be a fight. And that didn't happen all weekend. There was no fighting, so it was great.
Nope. No punches were thrown. No beers were spilled. It's a blessing, man. Because that was like a 1 out of 6 chance. Like, you roll the dice, and if you hit a 2, there's going to be a berserk. Dan goes berserker, like those things in Halo 3.
Oh my God. No, it was good. It was good. We needed a weekend like that, and we got it.
I got the taste of interaction again, and now this week I was depressed.
I was too. Oh my God. It was kind of like they sent you back to jail, and you're just like,
yeah,
like, oh, I'm going back. Like I was pissed off at the world yesterday. I think it finally got to me because it was just like,
yeah, me too.
I've done nothing but fight children since I've got home. Like, will you just fucking do what I tell you to do?
So I came home, and Nicole's like, "Yep, you got the kids." Straight up the first day, I had to put both kids to bed by myself.
Ooh,
nice.
I got a nap, man. I fell asleep on the couch for 2 hours.
Nope, Nicole didn't let me. Nope, walk through the door. No.
I think it didn't help either that was like the nicest day of the year, that we were all out doing something. It was like 70 degrees and perfect. And it's just been shit weather this week, so I haven't even gotten to sit outside.
Yeah.
During my lunch break. But I got one more bachelor party this summer for my little cousin, and I'm going to be the old man. I don't think anybody else has a kid.
Yeah, you're done. See, that ruins it too.
I'm
You're not in that heavy drinking lifestyle.
They're all lobstermen besides like 2 of them.
You're going to die.
Yep.
Like, it was nice knowing you, and
God rest your soul.
God rest.
Yep. It's going to be tough.
John was a good man. Well, he was a man.
Yeah. I was a good and evil man.
Oh, before we get into
evil.
You guys got any pickups before we get too far into the game?
I think I do, actually.
Oh, always now with you, mister. I'm just going to pop into every Goodwill in southern Maine.
I got Siphon Filter 2 for $1.50.
To the list.
It's complete too. And Black Label. And it's not worth that much. It's only worth $8.
Well, it's not that Green Label trash making your collection look disgusting on the wall. Friggin' herpes.
That's the only thing I have.
PlayStation herpes.
You're so picky about
did last time I came in, did I mention I got Sonic 2?
Possibly.
Yes. Yeah, so for the listener, I don't know when this episode's coming out, but we've already recorded an episode on cheats, and I think you mentioned that you were going to talk about I think you mentioned that, but I'm going to release them out of order, I think. So I'm going to fuck everything up, but I think you did mention, future Nick has mentioned that he has
a version of myself has mentioned that I picked up Sonic 2 and what was the other one? The unformentioned 116 game cartridge.
Oh, the pressure cooker.
The AliExpress burned down my system cart.
Yeah, and I got Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. That's what I did.
Boom.
Boom.
So I got a spare cart of Sonic 2 now. It's yours, John.
Let's get a Genesis, John.
All right.
Gotta get a Genesis.
I'll see what I can do.
Mine's my other pickup was a graphic calculator that I picked up for $6 and I just sold it for $80.
You fucker. You're just a skeezy Goodwill fucker. I'm trying to think if I got anything. John, you got nothing?
No, nothing for me.
I think I mentioned this on the cheat episode, but I might not have. But I got a cap kit for my Game Gear, so I'm gonna solder that at some point. So stay tuned.
I'm excited. I am so excited for this.
And I bought a nice soldering mat to go with it.
Look
Ooh.
at that. That's pretty.
So I'm not ghetto like I was during the Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, you inspired me with that too.
I don't think it's going to go well. I think in your mind, this is going to be like a cure-all, and you're going to like, oh my God, I can fix this Game Gear too. What's going to happen is I'm going to start this, and I'm going to send you text for like 3 weeks bitching about how it doesn't work or how I burnt my hand on the soldering iron, burned down my office.
So
like,
it's just the same day-to-day shit we hear from you either way.
it's like the Xbox, but to the next level.
Well, you inspired me in the sense I'm taking a relook at my Intellivision.
All right.
There's signs of life.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I'm in another group on Facebook. It's just like a collectors for video games. And I was like, hey, I sent a video. I'm like, anyone have this problem? And they're like, well, what's your RF box like? And I showed them, and the RF box is original. It's from 1980.
They're thinking it's fucked.
They think the RF box is fucked, and it's just not communicating well with newer TV that I have. So they're like, you have two options. Find yourself a CRTV.
Boo!
That one sit well with you, Matt.
Yeah.
Or update the RF box for it.
The beefcake in the background.
Yeah.
So I might actually see if I can find a little RF box, and just try something like that first, and see if that works. And if that doesn't work, then definitely I'm gonna then go on a hunt for a CRT.
Just skip to the CRT. Nicole will love it, man. Put it right in your bedroom.
I need to find something really small. What do you think?
32 inch.
Yeah, I'm thinking. No way! I can't go that fucking big. Dude, that thing's
Pull a back muscle, bringing it down the stairs.
I was thinking maybe like a 19-inch, something like that, very small.
Yeah, I had a 20-inch in college, and I just stored it at my parents' house. And I was like, I fired up my consoles after, I got an apartment, and I was like, oh, hey, do you guys still have that little TV I had? Because I was like, it was perfect for it. And they're like, no, we got rid of it.
The best, one of my favorite memories was, I can't remember if she saw me do it or she saw after the fact. My parents would, no, Nikki did not see me come running down the hill with a CRT, because what I didn't do is I didn't go down my stairs. I took it around back. But my parents were there, and they like watched me like bust through the door, like hauling the CRT. And I had this like shit-eating grin on my face, like Nikki's gonna be so pissed. And Nikki was like, "What is this doing?" But it was in the house. Once it's in the house, you're home free,
right?
So you just gotta.
Is this the same Big Bertha that broke your window in your car?
No, I wish I still had that. That was a Sony Trinitron.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That thing.
Those were good.
Well, I saw something interesting today for TV as well. I was going through the YouTubes, and one of the guys I follow on YouTube, Retro Rick, highly recommend. His friend bought a Nintendo TV. It's the Sharp TV with a built-in NES system.
Oh,
huh.
Well, you need that.
Well, guess how much that bad boy costs?
I bet that thing cost $3,000.
Not that high, but it's still fairly high.
Really?
I think like in this a loose like condition, I think it's like $1,000. Yeah, well, like no box or whatever, no manuals or anything like that. I think it was going for like a little bit like 1,100.
Still high.
Yeah.
I know.
Did you guys see the gold-plated Wii?
No.
They made for the Queen of England is selling at auction.
The Queen of England has a gold Wii?
Yep.
She's got to pay for Prince Philip's funeral.
Right.
Just sell her Wii off.
THQ made it customized for her, and it's 300,000 pounds.
Fuck.
Yeah, because it's gold.
That's insane.
Right? Can you imagine the Queen of England bowling or like playing tennis on the Wii? Because that's all the old people do is just Wii Sports.
She breaks a head.
Underrated game.
I love it.
We played so many hours on that. The Wii Sports Resort was fun too. The second one.
Yeah. Frisbee dog?
Yeah.
That was my jam.
What are you boys drinking tonight?
I have a Wicked Hazy IPA from Sam Adams. Nikki bought this for me. If you've heard the commercials on the radio, it's fucking annoying as hell. You got some
Oh yeah.
It's Boston off Wicked Hazy Bob. And it's like, oh fuck, Boston accents.
Bubbly, sparkling water, white peach, ginger. Because I am on a keto diet.
Yeah, but still, even in your keto thing, you find like the most.
It's delicious. It's really good.
There has to be booze. Yeah, that's what every girl that's on her period says.
He's drinking pure estrogen right now. Just
I'm drinking this because my boobs got too big. I'm so
supple.
fat. Jesus.
Supple. It's supple.
I could probably fit in a solid D cup right now.
Does Nicole make you wear a bra? Like you guys
should
role play?
My back hurts. Carrying these tits around.
My back hurts.
What was the thing from Seinfeld where Kramer and George's dad,
the bro,
man's ear, the bro. Yeah. I busted out one of the good ones, boys.
What you got?
It's a Bissell Brothers Swish. Yeah,
fancy.
I get a case a year, and I just try to parcel them out.
And tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night because this game deserves it.
So,
John, you deserve it.
Thanks, Boo.
You're still a cunt.
Fair.
Oh. Ouch.
So typically when we do these episodes, I always try to hold off until the end. Like I will let people will know what I think of it, but my final closing statements are like, oh, this is what I think about the game. Fuck that. This game was glorious. I'm gonna come out and say it right at the front.
I didn't even finish it yet, and it's so good.
Yep.
How did you pick this, John? I don't mean how did you come about it? I mean, how did you, as John, pick this?
Was it worth your soul?
My tastes in the past have been less than stellar. Doesn't mean that I don't get a hit every now and then.
The blind squirrel
finds his nut. I just was doing my usual, what is a more obscure game or what is a hidden gem? I go through lists. I just browse, random shit, random lists. I go on Reddit every now and then. And then this one looked cool. And it was on a bunch of platforms, so friendly for us. We all had a way to play it. So Beyond Good and Evil is this week's episode on Spin Dash, your 29th favorite podcast about retro games.
I think you'd be generous when you say 29th.
I know, right?
There's a lot of podcasts out there.
They're probably more interested in to listen to some kids out in Thailand. That's not even going over.
They have better audio quality.
Yeah, they do. Not hard to do. So on this episode, Carlson and Peters join me for our quest to Hillis and beyond with our cadre of furries and humanoid rebels to stop the overlords from harvesting our foster children from a lighthouse.
Sounds like our current government.
Oh, fuck.
And 22 minutes in, Nick just throws gas on the fire.
Finds the fucking line. I love how we set rules and Nick just torches them every fucking time.
Oh, guys, we got to redo that episode. I insulted a celebrity with her weird vagina eggs. Let's redo an episode. Oh, fuck it. I'll just do it again anyway.
For 20 episodes in a row, 23, 24 episodes.
Somebody's going to go through all of these and list how many times Nick has said cunt.
Every time he said cunt, every time he's talked about someone blowing him or somebody blowing each other.
Donkey Kong had 83 banana references to being phallic.
I'm a horrible human.
You're like, the most sensitive, like kind-hearted man ever, and then you could just flip a switch and be like fucking Beavis and Butthead, and without blinking. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna cry at your wedding. Hey, look, this banana in my pocket is huge.
This is
I don't get it.
This is your fault, John, too, because you start off this thing and you mention furries. I'm like, there's Nick's trigger. Here we go.
I just gotta, pepper it a little bit. Just poke the fire, poke the bear.
Literally.
Oh, fuck.
Poking the bear costume. He's out.
Yep.
I mean, there was a.
He can't even speak. He can't even fucking speak.
I'm good.
I'm sorry to our listeners. I really am.
It's common collected now. Yeah. We confirmed that one person has listened to like 4 episodes.
It's not our moms.
Yeah. I wouldn't want my mom listening to this shit.
However, he was drunk. That's our. We got to start appealing to alcoholics. They're always drunk when they're listening because they need to not have their sensibilities.
Right.
Fucking A.
I mean, this was solid. This game was just so good, Sean. You fucker.
Nick and I were going back and forth, and it's like, how are we going to respond to this? Half our dynamic is just shitting on what John picks, and this is arguably, I would say, I can't, I don't know how we're going to pick a game we enjoy more, honestly. So, fuck it, we're done. Podcast over.
Yep, game of the year. Already decided. Summer hiatus. Got to recover.
Oh, it was just so good. I mean, because you guys started playing out a bit before me, and I played a different version. Same version, but I played it via my laptop on my laptop.
Yeah, you played the HD remastered version.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Well, my computer can handle too much.
More than mine.
When it came to some cutscenes, it bogged down a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Like, I had to go through my computer and shut down everything and made sure only the basics were running.
Yeah.
And then I had to tweak the settings down a little bit too.
This is my first episode I'm recording on my non-work laptop.
We'll see how the quality turns out. John, you played it on PS2, right?
I did. I bought the game off eBay for $15, I think.
Not bad.
My wife's PS2. And my wife had a PS2 from high school. Decent collection of games. We played some James Bond and GTA back when we were newlyweds, when we had the fun time.
Before the dark ages.
And it was good. I started out, but the game froze once. So I was like, I got to clean the PS2. That must be it. It must be old, because I love taking stuff apart. And it wasn't that bad. I just cleaned some dust off. But yeah, after that, it ran smoothly, never froze again. Multiple save files. My gameplay, I got, I don't know, I'd say 70% through.
Nice.
If we're talking storyline.
Yep.
The side quests and collecting everything, I was not close. But
see, I got sidetracked so hard with those side quests. That's why I only made it to this. I just made it through the factory. Because I was getting so sidetracked with, I was playing a lot of, I played for 2 hours that game there with a shark.
Oh, the air hockey kind of thing.
It was like an air hockey one. So I played that for a little bit.
I love that game.
And I just kept it going. I just went, and when I finally won my orb, done. But then I kept on going back to him and just kept on playing.
So how far do you think did you make it, Nick?
Near the end of the factory, I think, is where it was.
I had the Xbox version and I got through it. I was happy the whole way through. Did either of you guys have any experience with this? I mean, I can say right out, my experience of this is I have seen it on lists. I've seen the cover. But to me, the cover looked like every other game made in 2003. The cover was not appealing. It's really not anything like that would give you any clue as to what you're going to play. It looked like a generic shitty game. That's what I thought we were in for.
There was a game called like Clock Stoppers or something, and it looked like the cover for that. Like some like mysterious type of game that it might be all right. Nothing like gripping, nothing to really draw you in.
Yeah. Nick, how about you? Did you have any experience with this at all?
No, I didn't. Actually, I never even heard of this game at all. I wasn't really a PlayStation person, though, as well. So I had a PS2, but I wasn't really into it. I was mostly playing probably because I didn't have an Xbox. Yeah, I was playing either. What was I playing mostly? I think it was mostly my GameCube. I played a lot on my GameCube at the time, or I was actually PC gaming.
You could have had this. It's on GameCube. Yep. The one we didn't touch. PC, Xbox, and PS2 all representing.
Yeah, I never heard of it. Though I wasn't really into these type of games that well as well. I mean, I was mostly at that time playing a lot of Diablo 2.
Yep.
I think it was my biggest thing during this time.
John, how about you?
Diablo 2.
You picked it. Do you got any experience?
No. I saw that it was made by the guy who made Rayman.
Yeah.
And that drew me in more. Like I pick a lot of my games based on ones that don't get a lot of press, a lot of like they aren't that well known.
Yep.
And this was on one of those lists, and then it's like, oh, made by the Rayman studio, and I was like, oh shit, I love Rayman. Yeah, let's do it. So that's what made me finally decide to do it.
I was reading about this game, and the whole time I kept calling him Michael Ansel, and then I started playing around. I'm like, oh, he's French. That's what is it, Michel or Mike Michel Ansel? I don't know. The French pronoun. I'm like, wow, I really screwed up that guy's name. I never realized he was French. So, and Ubisoft Studio was in France. I never realized that.
No, me neither. That's cool, man.
One thing I did pull for you, John, before we get, I don't know if you have anything on the development on this, but so this game came out in late 2003, right? So I wanted to highlight to you why I would not have known about this game. Okay. Here is just a list of games that came out in 2003 that I either own or are interested in. How would I have enough money or time?
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful Joe on GameCube. Prince of Persia came out. Mario Kart Double Dash. Knights of the Old Republic. F-Zero GX.
Oh, yeah.
Jedi Knight Academy. Ratchet and Clank. Going Commando. Wind Waker. The Game 13. Crimson Skies. Jack 2. SSX. 3. The list goes on. If you look at 2003, that is a fucking stacked year in gaming. Both the GTA 3 and Vice City ended up on Xbox. I mean, depending on what Panzer Dragoon Orta came out that year, stacked.
Vice City. I wouldn't have played many other games besides Vice City that year.
So so how would you know? How would you know this?
You don't.
Such a stacked year.
There was a lot of stuff, dude. Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic, played a lot of that. Vice City, I remember going and getting Vice City at Walmart, and I was only 16, and they were like, this game's, and whatever it was, and I was like, yeah, I'm 17, and they believed me.
Yeah, I was literally so involved into Diablo 2 at that time. That was like my only game, I think, through that. That and I was doing a lot of Zerg Russian. We'll just say that.
Yeah. I still think we were 2003. We were still like playing Halo 1 obsessively at that point. So even then,
because Halo 2 was 2004, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's just this game, I think, came out at such a shitty time, and I don't ever remember them marketing it. Do you remember seeing an ad for this game?
Nope.
So the case is boring. The cover's boring. It came out in an insane year in gaming. I mean, the list goes on. If you get on and list all the games that came out in 2013, now some of these originally were like PS2 2001, Xbox 2003, whatever. But it's new to that console in 2003. The list is huge. 2003 was friggin' stacked. So this gets buried, you know?
Yeah. They put a lot into this, though. I read up on that. So I don't know if Michael Ansel was like the head of Ubisoft, or I mean, like he's one of the top guys because I mean he created Rayman, so obviously he's got a lot of pull there. But they pulled a lot of people into this, and he brought in like an actual director and producer and composer, and like the music from this game, that song in the cantina, right, or whatever it is, it's still like the because I had my volume low when I was playing this, and I couldn't really hear the lyrics, but just that like that little rhythm that song has, it's stuck in my brain still.
Well, the voice acting in general is really superb on this.
Yeah, it
At
was.
a time when voice acting was complete trash. Go back and play some of the Final Fantasies.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually really good, really humorous. Some pretty dark jokes are in here too. They just catch you off guard.
Yeah, he died. He was a good man. Blah blah blah. Like, yeah, just
or when you're traveling and it's like, smoked bacon.
Yeah,
because your hovercraft is like smoking, and your partner PJ is a human pig.
Do you want to try to tackle the story in some way before we get into how it all works? Because it's
it's a weird story.
Good luck.
So you, Okay, let's see if I can do this without getting too stupid. You start off, and you're a girl with a little kid at a lighthouse, right? And you're just sitting out there, and it looks like you're meditating. And then all of a sudden, the sky opens up, and this alien shit comes down, and you're like, oh, crap, everybody take shelter. And then you know it's going to be a weird game when you go to activate the shield. And it's like, oh, you didn't pay your power bill. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, okay, random trope that they have there. And then like right off the bat, you get to beat up these aliens that are kidnapping all like the fucking Lost Boys, you know? And then you manage to beat it, and the government comes in and is like, oh, we cleaned up here. It's like, oh, okay, so this is going to be a kind of establishment, rebel type of game, because the government seems kind of like pomp, like they're kind of pompous and a little over the top with the voice acting, where they have the projection like this and they sound like news guys. And then you meet your pig uncle, Paige, spelled really weird, like apostrophe in there. And the bottom line is that there are these attacks by the DomZ, DomZ.
I think it's DomZ.
Yeah.
Maybe DomZ.
And what's the government called?
So as I understood it, and I tried to pay attention, but I kind of just got lost in it. So I didn't do a good job on the story on this one. But so yeah, Jade is your protagonist. I believe she's a journalist. That's kind of her claim to fame.
Right. Yep. And she has a camera.
And so there's alien attacks that come down in regular intervals, and that's your DomZ. They're like an alien species that like sucks up the people of Hillies. Is it Hillies? I think it's Hillies, where all these like various people and people-like creatures live. And this other group, the Alpha Sections.
That's what I was thinking.
They're like a mercenary group that is basically running the show. So for whatever, they're like they're kind of like a military dictatorship that's taken over this
provincial government, because this is a planet. Yeah. It's got that Star Wars vibe to it a little bit. I don't know about what you guys think.
I guess when I was watching something on this that it's Michel. It's Michel Ansel is how I think you pronounce it. He was inspired, not to get political, but fuck it, Nick already has, by what was going on in the U.S. after 9/11.
No shit.
So 9/11, I think, influenced basically the propaganda that was out at the time, like how news was heavily so slanted in one direction, in the war on terror. That inspired him to kind of come up with this.
All right.
So Nick, you picked a good time to leave. We talked politics, and now we're off it. So we're glad you're here. Yeah. So
you mean media controlling people?
Yeah.
So one of the things that's cool about the planet Helise is it's not just humans, and it's not like weird aliens or stuff. Like they're anthropomorphic animals. So there's like a race of like rhino sapiens, or a race of walrus sapiens. Like I don't know. It's funny as hell.
Shark sapiens, like. Isn't there like goat people?
There's
as
like
well?
if you could
There's a goat kid.
You can name an animal. They've got it with a person, and they're all living in this like one area,
right? Yeah. It was. I liked too, and I mean this. As soon as I got like an hour in, I realized that I played a lot of these type of games on Dreamcast, like the action adventure games where the scope is fairly narrow, but like it's an expansive environment, and it's got just random tropes pulled in. Like in this one, you got to take photos to bring down the government, and it's a lot of stuff thrown together with some cool music, and it's like essential early 2000s games. These guys trying new stuff that really was not common at the time.
I think one of the things that I like the most about this, and maybe you get that Dreamcast vibe from just, I find a lot of Dreamcast titles are really quirky and creative. And This game was so quirky and creative. Like they stapled so many different genres together. Like, oh, you like action adventure like Zelda? Boom, we've got this for you. Oh, you like stealth games? Oh, boom, we've got some fantastic stealth in my opinion. Like racing? Oh, we're gonna put some racing on that. You want some, some kind of like on rail shooting? Got that too. You like combat? Got that. Like they merged all these like weird styles that should not fit, but it's in a game that's just so charming that it works. It feels like a love project, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a fun story.
2 years to do this.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they let them go on this long and to do. I read like their vision changed multiple times. Like they wanted this to be kind of more open world, and they kept having to keep scaling things back, which on one hand sucks, for them. On the other hand, whatever their vision end up turning into, man, it's just right in my wheelhouse. I would much rather play a game that's a little more linear like this than something that's open world. That's just my preference. But man, it was quirky and weird and fun.
Yeah. I speaking of the anti-establishment, that song that stuck in my head, the one that plays in the bar, I guess the lyrics are in Belgian, and it was based on like the propaganda in World War II, like the movement against the propaganda. And the title of the song, and I was looking all these up, is called Propaganda.
That's funny. I like when you're in the city, and I can't remember I think it was a pedestrian district or something like that. Something. When you're in like the central hub of the city, you have like the everything's like the screens everywhere playing. Like I think his name's like General Keck or something. It's like Kehck. Not like Pepe memes, but like General Keck. And his face is like all over screens. He's everywhere, and it's like, wow, this. Once I figured out this game had some ties to like, oh man, the propaganda type thing. Like you can see it. Once you see it, it's like the toothpaste out of the tube. You can't put the toothpaste back in.
Nope. That's what it is. I had a lot of fun running around collecting the pearls in the random side quests. And The one downside was I got so lost a lot of the time, like, and it takes you a little while to get from place to place, and like the map wasn't the greatest. You could see where things were, but like I got turned around a lot, and like just
I think that's
trying
my
to
only
navigate
complaint about
was
this.
tough. Yeah,
You could like zoom in, but it wasn't like you could. It was like you could zoom
had
and
to
zoom
zoom
out.
back
You had
out.
two
Yeah.
options, in or out. Not enough to kind of like, I'm going to ease in and go off a little bit.
You just didn't know what direction you're going. Just like, yeah, you're here. Okay, which direction am I facing?
So John,
yeah, and then there was like
you mentioned the pearls. So this game was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It had
That
like
was-
two currencies. So you had, I don't know, was it credits? What did they call this? The standard things you get from bad guys in boxes.
Yeah, the glowing little purple things were credits from crates and killing the monsters, and then pearls were like your quest rewards, and you could buy them at different places. And the really fun side element to the main quest was that you're a photographer, and you have to capture all these animals. And I saw that part, and I was like, "Oh shit, Nick is gonna
Snap.
flip out."
I was
So
snapping pictures left and right.
yep, you get 10 animals, and like you fill up your film roll, and then you'd get a pearl after you captured enough animals. So each time, and I was dumb a couple times because I just go into the dungeon and kill it, and I was like, oh shoot, I should have taken a picture.
Well, that was
So I don't know if I could ever get 100%.
That's how they tied in the whole story about why you've kind of come out of your comfortable lighthouse and are out in the world is you need to pay your power bill so you don't get attacked by the aliens. So
yeah, Paige gets you. Your uncle gets you the gig, right?
So what are the dudes? Sardondo or something like that. I get the.
Oh, what was that? Segundo, your spicy Latin AI
gets you a gig as a photographer. So you're paying.
Yeah.
You're taking pictures of aliens for the government or something, or the science division to pay your bill, so aliens don't take the orphans away. I mean, that's funny. It's hysterical.
Yeah. So this game took a lot in production, and then it flopped, right? Like when it was released, it didn't do so well. And I think it was a year later that it was like 2004 where it started to get notoriety and, was up for some awards.
Yeah, because it was critically acclaimed. The critics loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it didn't sell though.
Like 9.8 or something like that.
It's high. Yeah. But like Matt, I bet it was like what you were saying earlier, that it was just in a glut of like tons of titles that got released.
And there was something weird about that time where all the artwork looked the same. So when you hold up the cover to this, I'm like, okay, is this Beyond Good and Evil? Is this Time Splitters? Is this Eternal Darkness? Like there's a bunch. I'm picturing all these GameCube games, but like all the covers have kind of a similar vibe to them. Like this game didn't stand out.
No.
So when you picked it, the first like 30 minutes of it, I'm like, what is this? And then
if I look at the cover right now, it kind of reminds me of nothing. There's not. It looks like it'd be like a PS2 or Ubisoft's version of like a National Geographic photography thing. That's all it is.
Yeah. So I have a couple games, and like you could tell. So I have 007 Agent Under Fire, and then Beyond Good and Evil, and like I feel like they all had the black background, right?
Yeah.
And it was that, and then on the back they had like snippets of the game. They had like
well, that's
10 to
cool.
12 pictures.
So go back to the Beyond Good and Evil back end.
Yeah.
Look how they did it. It's a roll of film.
Yep.
But even then, I mean, the title. I don't understand the title. If I'm a philosophy nerd, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna read Nietzsche. Like, what the hell is the point of the title? So it's like, everything about this game just didn't scream until you get into it and you start playing it, and you're like, holy shit, this game! Like, how did this sneak by me? This is not on my. I mean, it's on every hidden gem list, But even then, when you're scrolling through the hidden gem list, you look at the picture. I'm like, well, that's a hidden gem to him, but it's probably like Body Harvest. It probably sucks. So I'm like, I'm not all that excited. So we fired this up. Like, wow, this is amazing. Like everything about this game was fun. The stealth sections. Did you guys like those?
I did. Yeah. Yeah. They were cool. You had to sneak around the facilities controlled by the alpha sections to see what they were doing, because there's a lot of speculation that, they're up to some sketchy shit, and you had to take photos of it for your underground, like Rebel News Network, which was Iris.
Yeah.
Iris Network. Yep. And then they would publish stuff to the masses. And so they had the alpha section guards, which were these giant dudes in like suits of armor, and they had weapons and then bombs, and they would call in like a robot to nuke you or like shoot you with a bunch of mini missiles. But they were really easy to kill if you could just shoot them in the air tank with your fucking Nerf dart or your Nerf disc. Like, they honestly looked like that. You remember those little foam shooters?
Yes.
We had when we were kids? Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. So you just hit them in the little tank, and then they float like helpless babies, and then you just kick them and they die.
The thing that cracks me up about the stealth sections, it's like, I'm not a fan of stealth, but this was kind of like the way they did stealth. It was like, this is a puzzle game, the stealth sections are very puzzle-esque in that, this guy's always going to be here and he's always going to be rotating in these directions. And this guy's always doing a sweep, and you've got these places to hide. So can I shoot this tank, have him run over, kick so-and-so in the ass so his little jetpack goes off and he runs around? I don't know. Some people, so I think I mentioned this to you guys, when there's a game that I passionately hate for this show, Body Harvest, I watch a lot of content that's positive to it, because I want to check my opinion. Like, am I that whacked out on this that I'm so far out that I'm just being a dick? And even then, it probably doesn't sway me that much because I'm still an asshole, but it's nice to know the other side. Like in this game, I was like, wow, this is a fucking 10. So I need to watch some things that are critical of it. So I'm like, that's what I was downloading. I always I want them to check my opinion. And some people were very critical of the stealth sections. And I don't know if it's because they come from playing a lot of stealth, Metal Gear, hint, hint, that's where we're going, Hitman, all these other games. But I found the stealth was a puzzle. And I think if you think of it as a puzzle to be solved, I don't know. I loved it. It was so quirky and stupid. I had so much fun in the stealth sections.
Yep. I backtracked. I got stuck a couple times where, if there were two of these guys, you'd shoot one of them, and the other one would be like, "Oh, man under stress," and he'd go over to help him, and then you shoot him in the tank too. But if you messed that up, or you poked your head up, then it was game over, and they'd call in the murder hornet robot.
And you could dodge the murder hornet robot, but what really got you is like the ones where they had like the laser cannon.
Oh yeah.
So like you can't go and shoot things like those sections. You've got to really sneak in. Maybe you got to hide in the fog, or maybe you've got to shimmy around this pipe or something like that.
There were ones where you could just duck, and these guys were so blind with with their helmets that you could just walk underneath them around their feet on some of those.
I don't know, we just a quarter way through the game, your uncle companion, the pig. So it's kind of another gameplay mechanic, right? So it's you, and you always have a companion exploring with you, and that companion can push buttons or they can help you fight, and you lose your uncle midway through, and you end up rescuing this doofy guy. I got like Dudley Do-Right vibes out of him. What would you describe Double H as?
Big time. like a theater actor gone, got a little concussed and doesn't know where he is.
He's got like this massive chin. He's funny as hell. I don't know why.
Yep.
And he's always like going on and on about his manual.
Yeah, his soldier manual. Carlson and Peters, page 826. And it's that
team.
yeah. Don't hit the home. Like every time you smack him by accident, he's like, watch your home team.
The game had some serious moments to it. Like, oh man, my uncle has been kidnapped, my pig uncle, and he's going to be tortured in the factory. The factory tortures people, and then the slaughterhouse prepares them to be sent to the moon where their life force is drained and they're dead. And it's like, wow, that's kind of dark. And then you're like, but instead, you've got Dudley Do-Right with you. Like, oh, respect the home team. Always watch your back.
Yeah.
What do you think of like the enemy though? Like the devs?
Oh, it doesn't seem like it's that bad at first because the giant serpent comes down, right? And you shoot it with the hovercraft. So it's not that creepy until I think you're in the factory and you see that giant like face hugger looking thing.
That's what I thought it looked like too, like one of the face huggers.
Yeah, because it's got a bunch of arm tentacles and it's floating.
And when you get later in the game, when you're in the moon and you're on like the moon base, you get that alien vibe. It's like, oh, Geiger's not too far away from this, or Giger, or however you pronounce his last name.
H.R. Geiger, yeah. And then it turns out that the aliens were controlling the alpha sections. Like in the factory, you take that picture of that one soldier and he's got the messed up face under his helmet. They
plant like spores in him or something, and it turns into like zombie goo or something.
Yep. So they're all mind controlled. And I don't know if the general Kecht was mind controlled as well, but he's only a pawn. You come to find out he's just their puppet. Like, he's getting bodies for the aliens to absorb. I did watch a little video of how the rest of the game played out that I didn't finish. And the moon base was crazy, man. Like you save your uncle, and all along, and this is the part that I wasn't too keen on. Apparently, Jade is not like really who you think she is. She's not the plucky photojournalist ninja. There's like something buried in her from a long time ago, right?
She's like one of the DomZ, I think, or she's a part of the DomZ, and like, I don't know if she was created to go down and kind of lure people in, because like, I can't remember that portion of the story, but I know that like when you end up back on the moon, the DomZ priest, the one running this alien attack, who's I guess really the main bad guy, is happy you're there. Mm-hmm. And it's like, whoa, you're reuniting, with someone who's, because she, which is weird too. So when you're in the game, she takes a alias. Like all these people take aliases. So I think like Double H, your buddy, his alias is Double H. I think his name is like Herbert or Hubert or something like that. Jade takes the nom de guerre or whatever. She goes by Shawnee.
Shawnee. Yeah.
That's what she picks. However, Shawnee, I think, is her DomZ name because she comes from them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's creepy.
The fucking thing was chanting like Shawnee Duga la 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 la, and you're like,
so I don't know if like subconsciously when she goes and picks her alias, she's picking, what her DomZ name was because she's one of them or from them.
Probably, she doesn't realize it. So yeah, the priest is like, I've been waiting for you. I've been feeding off these shitty carcasses, and I've been waiting to harvest you back into the horde or whatever.
Kind of like the Borg or something like that. The Zerg. The Zergs.
Hive mind. So yeah, your uncle gets killed and tortured, and he's in this like chrysalis, and then you break him loose, and he's like, Double H is like, oh, he didn't make it. And then you have your spirit fingers and you revive him, but you don't know that you do until after, because he sends a fucking email.
If one of us ever ends up in the hospital and we're like, we take a turn for the worst, And then for some reason, things perk up and we're fantastic. Like we weathered the storm. Don't call people, tell them you love them. Don't do it. Just send an email. Fooled you. I'm not dead. I'm alive. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Fucking
like
email.
The whole thing's like about broadcasting, and you get your BlackBerry that you receive things on. Like, here's this code, or good job on taking these photos. Let me send you this. And it's just weird. And like, this would be a perfect 90s movie, right? Like late 90s when shit got weird, space movie.
One of the things that cracked me up is it's very timely. Like I spent half my time today waiting for important emails. Like I just sent it to you. It's going to be there. It's still sending. Why isn't it coming? I need this file. And that's how this game is. It's like, oh, I need this code, governor. I just scanned this code. And it's like, oh, we'll send you the email. And it's like, all right.
Yeah.
My fucking code.
Yeah. It was ahead of its time, man. Nobody had email on their phones in 2003, right?
No, they knew. BlackBerry. The BlackBerry should have got in on this.
We're in the year 2030, like 22, 3, 4, 5, right? Or something.
Yeah, it's hundreds of years in the future.
Yeah. And yet you still have Jamaican rhino people.
So here's my conspiracy theory, because I'm the resident tinfoil hat of the show. They are rhino sapiens. So sapien, who fucked a rhino is where I'm going, right? We got rhino, like did the government.
I just want to point out right now, I wasn't the one that went there.
I'm not describing this.
You beat me to it.
I'm not the one that's sitting down like, well, when you have sex with a rhino, you should always do it rhino style. Never missionary. Rhinos hate missionary. Like, that would be you. You would go into like all the disgusting details of like human rhino interactions and love making.
I mean, there is a feline sapien too. Felis sapien.
They get bored. Have you seen Ace Ventura 2?
Yeah.
When he climbs out of the rhino's ass, that's what would happen. That's literally that's what happens here. Look, mommy.
Well, then, yeah. To me, this is like like a Star Wars planet, because like all the random Star Wars characters have some sort of humanoid aspects, right? Or the majority of them do. So
yeah.
How did that happen, right? Is it just... It all goes back. We're tying in another movie where in Prometheus, the giant bodybuilder white alien dudes just disintegrate, and then whatever happens.
If you're trying to tie Prometheus, we could spend like 6 years discussing that plot and me going, I still don't get it.
Underrated movie.
Great movie. Don't fucking get it.
Horrible movie.
What the fuck's wrong with you? Prometheus?
Oh, it destroys the franchise completely.
All right, we need a new host.
Get a true... Okay. Someone we're going to be inviting on is another Nick, who's a true Aliens fan, and he even agrees. He's like, that is crap. It destroys that whole franchise altogether.
Alien Resurrection sank that fucking battleship a long time ago.
I didn't even give it an Alien 3. Although the director's cut or whatever the other cut's pretty good.
I didn't hate Alien 3 as much as you did.
It was not bueno.
Well, we never have agreed on our movie choices anyways.
And this is the one game choice we've agreed on in the history of the show. Other than our hatred, we've hated a lot of things together.
We all liked Castlevania.
We all kind of had problems with Crystal Warriors. We all had problems with Body Harvest.
Oh, that was the worst one. I'll take the cake for that.
So going back to the rhinos, what'd you think of the rhinos?
I love that they had Jamaican accents.
I really like those rhinos.
I fucking love the rhinos. You got to go. It's a mommy go.
And they just have ship parts for sale.
But I just like how you know what it reminded me of, actually? It reminded me when I was playing like Grand Theft Auto, where you kind of start going into like certain areas and your music would change.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. So you went close to the garage, and then next thing you know, you have this Rastafarian-esque music start playing. And every rhino you talk to, it has this Jamaican accent going on.
It was a great commentary for 2021 We'll make it political. Fuck it. This whole episode. I love that the rhinos only accept pearls. Like, they're not going to accept your inflationary shit credit that they've been pumping out, printing these credits that you've been kicking crates in. No, they're gonna use the one like these rhinos are gold bugs. They're Rastafarian gold bugs, and they're only accepting one type of currency. I love it.
You're all up in there, but what about the shark humanoids?
Which ones
were those?
That was the air hockey dude, right? Francis?
Yeah.
Those were sharks?
Fucking Francis. Yeah, they're sharks.
That was not a shark.
A shark sapien.
Yeah, they're is it Carcharodon sapiens, shark humanoid. Fact. They're part man-eating species. They live alongside humans.
What else we got, fellas?
I'm trying to think what else I really...
Well, I mean, this game is so good that they have a prequel coming out.
Prequel sequel, yeah.
Now, that game has been in development hell since like 2008, so I may see it in 2030.
And I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty solid. It looks pretty close.
I've seen a couple videos of it, and there's a TV or a movie in the works, TV show.
I guess Netflix is working on something, but
yeah, trying to do that game genre that The Witcher kind of broke loose on last year.
I saw the trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2, and I'm worried about the tone. Like, this game was kind of PG-ish, it had its moments, but it was quirky and fun. And I watched the trailer, and it's just like this monkey going, "Give me my fucking money," which, don't get me wrong, I love a good swear word. I'm friends with Nick, so I mean, this just makes sense. I'm going to learn some stuff, but like, it would be like if I'm going to watch the Harry Potter movies, and the first movie was the regular Harry Potter movie, and then the second one was directed by Martin Scorsese, and
Wow.
Joe Pesci's in there just going, fucking give me my money. Like, the tone was so weird in that. I'm real worried about it, about the sequel. So that's my don't swear in video games, kids, I find a lot of games, as you work backwards, like really PS1 era, Lara Croft, I'm looking at you, just big tits, just monster tits, scantily dressed, running around caverns and stuff like that. Or like there's a game, I want to play the Xenoblade Chronicles game for Switch, and apparently Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it's kind of the, like, you don't want to play that in front of friends because they're going to judge you for your big titted anime that's just over the top.
Yeah.
I appreciate that Jade in this game is kind of normal. You know what I mean? Like, it has this timeless quality where, she's not this giant titted sex object, I guess is the way to phrase it. Like, she's a lot more identifiable. I think it grounds the game. I loved her as a character.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I thought that was kind of, I think that was different for the time. I mean, really, this came out the exact same time. Like, Lara Croft still had big tits when this was coming out.
Big conical boobs.
Nick has no comment for any of that. Nick, did you want her to have big tits? Is that your problem?
No, this was funny how you just went about declaring it. I honestly didn't bother me at all. I was just taking pictures either way. The game was... So my only hiccup, and I don't know if this is the version I played, is camera. It just got so annoying on me sometimes with this game, as far as like traveling around for character movement. So I just kept on I get randomly stuck onto a corner with this game. I mean, the game played so well. As far as, character development, it was really done. like you, Matt, with like other characters though. It was weird, just like Uncle PJ, yes, like slobbering like hog pig man, and he's your uncle. Like it's just weird just being thrown in that dynamic. But again, like John was saying, it was kind of like this world where you just had like just different creatures or different beings from all around just congregating, and it was kind of fitting actually for her character and kind of make sense where she was taking care of other foster kids and she was a foster herself in a sense.
Because haven't the aliens been attacking for like 20 years? So you've got just a slew of orphans.
Yeah, her parents died in the fight, and Uncle Page kind of took over.
Yeah, because you find out later on he's a bigwig.
Yeah. After he gets kidnapped, he's the Iris Network honcho, which is cool. And he was hiding the spaceship, the Beluga, the whole time on in the lighthouse, or not the and the fucking lighthouse gets blown up, and you think all the foster kids are dead. Grim stuff, man.
But it always kept a smile on your face, even when orphans were getting blown up in lighthouses.
They had so many one-liners in this.
Yeah, H was full of them, man.
He's like Dudley. He's like Dudley Do Right. He was so stupid. I loved him.
I was waiting for him to turn somehow. You save him, and then you find out in the very end, like, because he was your rock. He did that. He did the bash moves, and he just set you up. You could spike anything. And you're like, hey, go clear that room for me to run through the lasers. It's like, this dude is solid. Like, he's the best wingman that I've had in a video game in recent memory.
So you thought he was going to turn?
Yeah.
I thought the governor was going to turn on you.
Oh, yeah?
Because, like, she keeps feeding you codes and stuff, and it's like, never trust. You're a journalist. Never trust the government. They're coming to get you. The whole time, like, she's got to come after you, and she didn't. The governor never turned on you.
No, she was safe.
Matt and John, I'll definitely agree with you actually on going back to the having a solid like AI. Because to this day, even with the newer games, is there actually a solid AI like partner?
Dude, that'd be a debate for another day.
I go back to like Resident Evil 5, where I just want to smash the controller. Or Resident Evil 4, it's like, you stupid bitch. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I remember you swearing a lot at that game in college.
Oh, she's dead. Thanks.
Yeah, keep dying. Boy, dude, that's a tough one.
Like this game, like, John, it fucking hates me. I hate to say this. It just works so well. Like, your AI was actually on point, did what they had to do.
He got in the way a lot, to be fair. Like, he was big and he just fucking like would follow you. And then if you went into a tight spot, he'd just be like, oh. And then, he wouldn't move. You'd finally have to like push him.
But at least when you're like going against enemies or something like that, you like had something solid to like lay you up onto attacks, not die or like, hey, do you need health? Hey, do you need health?
Yeah.
I like the mechanic where you have him and he smashes the ground, and then all the enemies pop up and you can like slow-mo hit them.
Yeah, that was cool. And it direct him to electric fences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zero from Mega Man X as a sidekick, or Rush. Mega Man sidekicks did their job, dude.
Yeah, but they weren't accompanying you. You weren't like AI. Like Nick is saying you're playing the game and something's following you.
Okay. So
there's another game. I think there's another game like Eco on PS2 that I think I remember being absolutely bullshit at the AI in that one, but I can't remember. That rings a bell.
That'll have to be its own episode where AI, good or not.
We're welcoming Elon Musk onto the show. Thank you. Oh, man.
But John, you really did pick a gem of a game.
Thanks, guys.
Solid all around. It was just like I was literally like, okay, I paid $3 for this. I'm going to fucking hate every dollar, every cent of this game.
$3. Give me a break.
Well, I bought the digital copy, so obviously,
right.
I think I've got a negative view of Ubisoft just because they churn out an Assassin's Creed game every year, and then I think that the Prince of Persia games kind of went downhill. I like the first one. So like I walked into this going, all right, John, you're gonna make me play a 6. You know,
this is back in their heyday with like Rayman at its peak, you know, and then like I think the first Assassin's Creed and like Prince of Persia were like pretty good at that time too. So
Assassin's
this is before
Creed
they
2, I remember liking.
Well, that's how they came up with this game, is actually through Rayman.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the guy who did it. Yeah, Ansel.
Well, like when they're in developing of Rayman, they had like some like
it glitched.
Like, it was a glitch. Yeah, a glitch. They're like, this would be kind of cool if it's own like right, and that's how they started developing Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, you could fly over the levels in Rayman.
Yeah,
and then they were like, "Oh, we need an overworld game," and then you kind of got that, but with a more linear scope to it. I mean, you could still get lost. Like I just one time I hopped the fence and just drove, and then I was just like, okay, guess this is just giant circle.
I think what's weird is if you try to explain this to somebody, like sell somebody on this game. I can see why it flopped. You know, it's picture Zelda, but with like Metal Gear Solid mixed in with it, but with F-Zero or whatever. You know, it's just like. That doesn't make any sense.
Hydro Thunder.
You can even put in this did actually have some GTA vibes.
A ragtag group of anti-heroes or like, you know, anti-establishment people with a funky soundtrack, and that is quintessential 2001 to 2004.
Yep. That had a style. One other thing, and I don't know if this fits here. If not, I'll move it around where it fits when I edit. But I love the flourishes this game had. Like there was no need that when you entered a code, you had this like really cool spiral thing where you rotate the analog stick. But I loved it. It was like, I don't know, I got really quick with that later on when you were entering in your codes. It's like, I know right to where to go.
Yep. Boom, boom, boom. That was cool. Taking the pictures of the red code bars, what do we call those now? With the
QR codes?
QR
code. Yeah, there we go. Another ahead of its time. I love that the vending machines were just everywhere. Take this fucking taco chip. Like and this bag, it was a taco and a bag of apples. Like that was for your health.
Starkos, get your Starkos.
Starkos. Right? K-Pops.
Yep. And I would have the voice every time too. Like I loved it.
It reminded me of BioShock. I got kind of. You guys haven't played BioShock because they hate you both, but
I played both. I played both of them.
Welcome to the circus of value. Yeah, so I kind of got those vibes out of it. But
so I want to hear. Will not make it onto this podcast.
No, they're too new. Unfortunately, if I could find a way to make John play it, but yeah, they're too new for us. Unfortunately.
You want to hear my turbo round?
You did a turbo round on this.
Turbo round.
I was not expecting that.
Really? I feel a little guilty. I copied the idea, but it was such a good idea that we had to repeat it. And it's the only thing I could think of that really tied in with this game. So this is the Beyond Good casting and Beyond Evil casting.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay.
Where do you get that from?
Yeah. Stolen from Nick and his Donkey Kong, like on mushrooms casting.
Nick is the evil casting.
So wait, I guess I'm picking the evil cast.
Right. So I just came up with these on the fly. I didn't put a whole lot of thought into them. So here we go. Okay, so the good casting is like who I feel would really fit if they made a movie of this.
All right.
Now, are you going by today or are you going by time this came out?
I'd say actors we're familiar with. So
Okay.
Since the 90s, you know, these actors have all been around since the 90s or later.
Okay.
Yeah, some of these are later. But so Jade.
Am I picking?
Yeah. We'll go with who you guys think should be Jade.
I have my pick. I was waiting for Nick to go.
I'm trying to think.
All right. Pressure's off, Nick. I could see Charlize Theron.
Oh, okay.
Need some makeup.
Yep. Nick?
I'm trying to think of Zendaya.
Who?
Zendaya from Spider-Man.
Oh, Zendaya.
Zendaya.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good one.
Do you just try fucking correcting me on a name?
Well, I didn't know you said Zendaya. Like
That's her name, Zendaya.
Zidane.
No, there's an N in there, Nick. It's Zendaya.
Oh my god.
I don't know what you said, dude. I didn't know who that was.
Who's the Russian dude from Street Fighter 2? Is that who Nick is? Zangief.
I said Natalie Portman. And for the evil casting?
A bad pick?
Yes. This is more in line with what Nick did a couple of times. It makes no fucking sense. I said Jaden Smith.
I'm going to go Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo.
I got no one.
Yeah. I guess I should have waited. For Paige, what do you think?
I don't. So here's the thing. Is he still alive? I could see like Bob Hoskins. I'd like to see Bob Hoskins play Paige.
I think he's dead.
Is he dead?
I think he died like 2 years ago.
Let's see. Then I'm screwed.
I mean, just because it's so much just now into the voice or character, I can see because he's kind of like got the southern gruff thing going on. Woody Harrelson.
Woody, I like it. I like it.
All right.
I said Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
Hellboy, you know, he could do makeup. He could do it.
All right, John, you're right, by the way. I apologize.
See? Fuck off. All right. My horrible casting,
Yep.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Hey!
Aww.
She got the fart-powered boots.
That's what it looked like. I forgot. All right. For Segundo, your spicy AI.
What the hell's his name? Antonio Banderas?
That's a good one.
Ooh. I don't got anyone I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm so tired. Sorry.
Pedro Pascal.
Who's that?
The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. You know, just for the record, we didn't get to do my bad pick for Paige. Michael Eisner. Jesse Social Network, the one that you hate.
He might make an appearance in this list.
Does he? That's what I'm picking as Paige.
Oh, here I got one for you. Benjamin Bratt.
Hey, yeah, that works.
Yep.
My horrible pick, Fran Drescher. Can you imagine?
Come on, Jane.
Shut up. All right, H8, HH, double H. I don't know what they call him. What do you think?
Brendan Fraser.
Ooh,
that's a great pick. I'm
That
trying to
is
think
a
of
good
someone
pick.
who's like, because he played Dudley Do-Right.
Yep.
Who's someone that would be funny? I could see like a Jason Sudeikis or something. Something off. Someone who's off.
He's got a good voice too. I said Bruce Campbell.
That's
Evil
excellent.
Dead.
That is
Evil
a
Dead
fantastic pick.
My evil casting is Charlie Day.
Carson Peters.
Oh, just huffing paint in the basement.
He's not alive anymore. Christopher Reeve.
Oh,
What?
oof, yeah, he would have been good.
I could see Nick pick like Stephen Hawking. Peter.
What do you mean?
Respect the team. Who would be a shitty pick that I could see like Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Like Johnny Depp when Johnny Depp's playing the real dark, like depraved characters.
right.
Like Johnny Depp in a Tim Burton movie playing Double H.
Yeah, he would turn. He would be the one that would flip to the bad side. All right, General Keck.
I have one.
I got one.
Go for it.
George Clooney.
Ooh.
Is between him or Leonardo DiCaprio?
I like, who is the guy? He was in The Walking Dead and he was in Slither.
Michael something, right? Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker.
Yep, Rooker.
There you
Yep.
go. Yep.
Great costume for Matt, by the way, back in the day.
Hey, that was a good time.
Yeah. I dug deep on my pick, and I went with Kurtwood Smith,
The fuck is that?
Red Foreman.
Yes.
Because
Alpha
he
Section's
played,
dumbass.
right? And if you think back to like, what was it, RoboCop? He played like the evil chief or something. I know he's been like a authority figure before, and it's corrupt. That's all I can think of. And my horrible pick, or my evil pick for Keck, is Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Yep.
The least intimidating person I can think of.
Mark Wahlberg.
So, Nick. Oh, man. So, RIP. Okay. RIP. He's no longer with us, but hear me out on this. The guy who played Mr. Leahy.
Oh, shit. What was his name?
Dinsmore. John Dinsmore.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little drinky poo there, Alpha Sections.
Yeah. Look out for this shit tornado. It's coming.
Oh, fuck.
We got two more. We got the DomZ High Priest. So this would be, I guess, more of a voiceover rather than an actual character.
Okay, hear me out on this one.
Oh, God.
No, I won't use them for this.
All the build-up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Michael Caine.
Your go-to is always Michael Caine.
He would actually be good. I mean, it's the only other person I think of is have you guys seen a Good Omen?
No.
It has Michael Sheen in it and David Tennant. But I was thinking like Michael Sheen.
I'm thinking of Martin Sheen. I don't know who Michael Sheen is.
No, Michael Sheen.
Oh. No,
British, Scottish actor.
Huh. Matt, what do you think?
I'm trying to think of someone who's got kind of a, because it's all voice, so let's get a nice booming voice. Not a booming, but like a presence. Like I don't want to go James Earl Jones. That'd be kind of, but it's someone in that vein, you know? I don't know. Fuck, go ahead of me.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sold on that.
Yeah.
I'll take my
I'm
loss
waiting to see
on
if anybody has the same pick, but it's not looking like
Not
it.
yet. No.
And my evil pick for this would have been Woody Allen.
Well, I don't know. Like maybe, like I don't know. Shawnee, you could.
Why do we want to do this? Like, why do we want to absorb these souls? It's just, they don't taste good. Rather have a rye sandwich. We got one more, and it's the Mamago elephant. The one at the counter, I guess, because the other ones don't talk.
He's a rhino.
Okay, Mamago rhino. Fuck, I don't know.
Who's someone who could do a Jamaican accent? a really good one.
Uh-oh.
Wait, Jamaica. I was gonna say like Will Smith or something.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd have the presence to do it.
I wanted someone funny to do the Jamaican accent.
Like a Jim Carrey.
All I could think of with he's done enough coming out of rhinos tonight.
I dug a little deep on this one too. And R.I.P. Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
That's bold. I like it.
My evil casting
Yep.
is Roseanne. Makes no sense.
All right. I'm going somewhere with my evil casting on this. Hear me out on this. If you ever listen to the first 3 Police albums, they try to do that reggae sound to moderate effect. I do like the Police. Sting. I'm going to do Sting as the Mama Go Rhino. Roxanne.
Horrible.
Gary Busey.
No, what's the other one that looks like Gary Busey? Or Gary Busey likes him.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte.
Oh God.
I was by the part, but give me the pearl.
Mama Go.
Mama Go pearl, maybe. He was in The Mandalorian, dude. He was the fucking little tinkerer guy.
He had it. He had the part.
Yeah. All right. That concludes this week's episode of Spin Dash, your 32nd favorite retro gaming podcast.
We've dropped down. So I think I'm gonna, when I edit these, I think this is gonna come out before the Game Cheat Devices episode. So if all goes well, the Game Cheat episode will follow this one. But Nick, I believe it's your pick, right?
Yeah.
After Game Cheats, assuming the world doesn't implode and I don't switch around the order. What are you doing to us, Nick?
Dun, 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 dun. Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Okay.
Good deal.
So you initially set off and you said we were going to redo Sonic 1 because we lost it
time.
Years ago. And
third time.
I liked it because John was mad about it. And that's
the
only reason.
Shank you.
My kids shank me today. I don't need any more shanking.
I'm going to wait until you come out of a meeting somewhere and I'm going to have a fucking wire and I'm going to pop in the back of your car and I'm going to be like, we're never playing Sonic again.
Sonic. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I have good memories with this one. I hope you guys do.
Oh yeah, I played it way more than Sonic 1. I don't hate it as much.
Sonic 2 is a great game. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy with that. The thought of going through the goddamn what's that second level? The Marble Zone or whatever, underground layer. No, not again. Not again. No.
Yeah, we're going Sega, boys. We're going Sega.
Just when I thought it was out, they pulled me back in.
We're going to see Yuji Naka at his peak and not like the recently released Bland Wonderland, which has not peaked Yuji Naka. People are not a fan of that. So, no bueno.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but no.
Yep.
New game. This is our second Yuji Naka game, or our fourth if you count a lot of the Lost Sonic episodes games. We've already played, we've already done Nights, so we're working our way back.
Ayo.
Just going. Keep it going. Should I
guys.
Leave us with the socials?
Of course, you're our takeout guy.
Take it out with the socials. Obviously, listen to us on all forms of podcasts out there. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, leave comments. Let us know how we're doing. If you want to hear something, any complaints, please send it to John. He loves that shit. Gets him off. Please follow us onto our other socials as well. Spin Dash Retro. You can follow us onto the good old Instagram as well as Twitter. We are active somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get better. I'm trying to get John. We're trying to get John. We'll try to get John to do some posts.
We'll
He's a
get
grumpy
better.
old man of the group.
I am now, yeah. Well, I'll find some experimental medication. I'll put some Twitter shit on there.
So, you guys have a good one. Guys, take it easy.
Thanks, guys.
Night, everybody.